Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies. Welcome back to another episode of Outside Looking In. Once again, here with my co-host Dre, and it is finally Super Bowl week. Super Bowl is almost here. It runs into Valentine's Day, so fellas, be careful out there. Don't let them trick you into Valentine's Day is this weekend. Save that for next weekend. But we got the Philadelphia Eagles, first the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think it's only rightfully so that I'll let you get your opening statements off about this Super Bowl since you're an Eagles fan.
First off, been a great season.
It has.
I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of people didn't even see us here at the start of the season. We weren't projected to even have 14 wins, nothing like that. We weren't projected to make it to the Super Bowl. We were projected to at least make the playoffs as a wild card. They were projecting Dallas to win the division. So, we came around and let me backtrack. It was all granted with the way Hurts played last year, with the way the offense looked. The defense was good, but it wasn't, our pass rush wasn't like that all year. And we went to the offseason, Howie Roseman. I'm going to save my comments on Howie Roseman until after the Super Bowl. But, he made some moves, got some key players. And, you could tell that, he was like, hey, not necessarily saying like it's Super Bowl or bust all the time, but it's like we're contending, like we want to contend. So he made those moves. And, even with everything we faced, the injuries throughout the year at different positions, different key positions, things like that, hey, we made it here. Granted, I understand a lot of people think that we probably shouldn't be here because we played the 49ers with no quarterback. But I just want to say this before we actually get into the predictions. We knocked the quarterbacks out the game. It's not like the quarterbacks got injured in practice, or they were injured beforehand and never played. We knocked them out the game. The offensive line, blame the 49ers offensive line for allowing that to happen. That's the game of football. That's how it goes. So I'm very sorry, 49ers fan. Look, my dad was a 49ers fan. So, I wanted it to be a great game. But hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And boom, we're here in the Super Bowl. It's going to be a great game. We have a great opponent. We're going up against Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. This is Eagles and Chiefs. This is almost like cousins, battling one another. Andy Reid used to coach us. Nick Sirianni used to coach for the Chiefs. You've got not Jeremy Maclin. You got Greg Lewis as the Chiefs wide receiver coach, and he was a wide receiver for the Eagles. You've got Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, who both played in the Big 12 at some point in their careers. So it's all kinds of the Kelsey brothers. How could I forget that? That's the big thing. Two first black quarterbacks going up against one another, two brothers facing each other. Like, it's all kinds of scenarios and things going on in the Super Bowl. So it's gonna be a great one. I have more to say, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you cut in here.
Not too much for me to say, as my opening monologue here, but these are two teams that I'll say wasn't scared this offseason to make big changes, major changes. GMs went out on a limb, going get guys in the Eagles case and Gardner Johnson and other guys. Then you have the Chiefs, who wasn't afraid to let guys go. They let Tyreek Hill go and are now still in the Super Bowl, which is absolutely mind-blowing. They got Scantling in return. Did they get Juju this summer or last summer? Don't remember.
They got him this summer. Well, this summer. Like this offseason.
This season, basically. They added two different receivers to replace Tyreek. Now they're back in the Super Bowl. So that's just basically going opposite directions as GMs. Eagles adding in really, really good talent. And the Chiefs letting go of really good talent, but bringing in some guys that are just lesser than him. And it also proves the point where you can win a Super Bowl two ways. One way, a rookie quarterback, not a rookie quarterback, a quarterback on a rookie contract scale, that would be the Eagles, and you just put a very, very good team around him. And the quarterback has to be good, obviously, too, but you get A.J. Brown, you got Fletcher Cox, blah, 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 whoever you want to add. And now you got Mahomes, where you got to get rid of guys like Tyreek. You got to lose a guy here, lose a guy there, and still try to put enough pieces around him to be successful. Both teams have done it, so obviously that's both ways you can win the Super Bowl, and now we'll see who wins. But I guess it is time to jump into this game a little bit. We could just save the suspense because it's none here. He's wearing his Eagles, and I got my Chiefs colors on. I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I'm rocking the red today because I'm going with Patty Mahomes. And I'll just start off here. First things first, the NFL wants him to be great. I'll just let that be known. The NFL wants him to be the next guy up. Tom Brady's probably going for good this time. So now it's Pat Mahomes, Pat Mahomes, Pat Mahomes. I'll just take you back to the first Super Bowl. I cannot remember the running back name right now. It's just slipping my mind, but he should have been a Super Bowl MVP, and they gave it to Patrick Mahomes. because they want him to be the next guy up. I cannot think. It's the guy that set out for COVID. He doesn't play anymore, and it's just going blank right now. But they gave Pat Mahomes that MVP.
Going blank for me too.
I swear I knew who it was, but when you talk, I'm gonna look it up. They want Pat Mahomes to win this MVP. I think Travis Kelce is unstoppable at this point. Obviously, Eagles has a good defense, but we'll let you get to that when you're making your point. I think their defense, Chiefs defense, is not that good, but they play big in big games. They step up, they rise to the occasion. I think Chris Jones has been a monster. That's going to be fun, him going against Kelce at the D tackle center position. It's fun that the Kelce brothers are playing each other, but I mean, they can't stop each other. So that's all cool and all. I did see some odds though. Maybe they've been watching some Philly special nonsense at practice because the Kelce brothers are like plus 10,000 for both of them to score a touchdown. Don't know how that's going to happen, but I was checking on FanDuel. If Jason Kelce scores a touchdown, we're going to have to talk. But I do think the Chiefs are going to be a slight favorite in this game. I think the NFL wants them to win. And yeah, y'all know the script is the script. Hey, man, Pat Mahomes got the script already. He's already Super Bowl MVP. And I'll let you take it away as I look up this running back.
Hey, we all know all 32 teams got this script at the beginning of the year, and they had to play it all correctly. Everybody had to play their part. And if you didn't play your part, then you got pull it out. You got left out on the sideline. But yeah, I mean, like you said, I'm going for the Eagles, obviously, but I'm not taking this, for granted at all. I'm not saying it's a shoe-in. I'm not saying we're definitely going to win. Go ahead and say the running back's name.
Damian Williams. He had 17 carries, 104 yards, and a touchdown. 4 catches, 30 yards, and a touchdown. Pat Mahomes had 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks, and they just gave him that MVP.
Because it was Raheem Mostert for the 49ers that was going off for them, right?
I thought it was going to be a running back award, but they gave it to Pat Mahomes because, of course.
Right. So I'm going with the Eagles, but this is a great matchup. Mainly just because, like you said, the Chiefs defense really isn't world beaters. They're probably a little bit above middle of the pack. I think they're like 12th. I think 12th to 10th in that range. And really it's because of Chris Jones. Chris Jones is the dominant force on that defense. He sets the tone. So we have to account for Chris Jones, just like we've accounted for Michael Parsons when we played the Cowboys, Nick Bosa when we played the Niners last week. Like, we need to account for him at all times. And, we've got a game plan for him. And, in the secondary, their secondary actually played very well against the Bengals, considering because Snead leaves the game with a concussion. So they've got like 3-4 rookies out there playing against, Chase and Higgins and Burrow. So, the rookies, they were thrown out there. They played well. They did great. But, that's still a weakness of their defense. But, Chris Jones can apply some pressure and force some errant passes from Hurts. Who knows what could happen. But outside of quarterback and tight end across the board, we lead everything. Outside of, I'd say kicker's a tie. Bucker has a stronger leg than Elliott. But Elliott is more accurate, and Elliott hasn't missed. I'm not going to say that. So, the Eagles are better than everything, better than the Chiefs at every position, except for quarterback and tight end. So we should win the game. I think we will win the game. It's going to be a close game, even though close games never work in the opposing team's favor when you're going up against Mahomes. But I'm still going to say it's a close game. Eagles win 27-21.
Ooh, I didn't give my prediction number-wise, but I think the script is in. I think this is a fairly easy game for the Chiefs. I'm going to say 28-17, 11-point victory. Hopefully it's closer than that. I want to watch a good Super Bowl because I honestly don't care who wins. Like, let's just be honest. I know the Chiefs win, the Eagles win. It's not going to affect my day at all. I just want to see a good game. I'm sure it'll affect your day. I'm glad to be just an innocent bystander in this. Just going to watch, enjoy it. Whoever wins, win. Hopefully just a good game. Hopefully the refs, please, the refs, do not try to stop. Look, if the game is close in the fourth quarter, just take your whistles and just throw them away or something. I don't know. Just don't affect the game. Let the players decide the game, please.
Throw the flag away too, unless it's just blatant. Like there's no way you could not call it.
Like the 2018 NFC Championship game, but we ain't gonna get started on that. Anyways,
now I will say this: I'm gonna throw a curveball. Because I'm picking us to win. That also means that the MVP is gonna come from the Eagles. I'm gonna say that the MVP is not gonna be Jalen Hurts,
and I don't think the MVP will be Pat Mahomes if the Chiefs win, even though I know they're going to try their hardest to give it to him. super, super hard. I think the Eagles defense is good enough to like maybe rattle him, maybe throw a pick or two, don't throw for 300 yards or something like that, and maybe somebody else can get it. But I also don't think it's going to be a quarterback that wins Super Bowl MVP.
I agree. I think for us, it's going to be, I'm picking between two players. It's either going to be Hassan Reddick because he's been on a tear all playoffs, so he just, continues his hot streak, or it's going to be Miles Sanders because I feel like our game sitting on the sideline and he doesn't have the ball in his hands. That's great, and that works in our favor. So it's going to be a lot of ball control, type of offense. So I think Miles Sanders or Hassan Reddick, one of those two, would be Super Bowl MVP for the Eagles.
For the Chiefs as well, I think one guy on the defensive line, Frank Clark, sleeper. Don't know why. I think he's going to be a sleeper for Super Bowl MVP. Obviously, Chris Jones is going to garner a lot of attention. You gotta block Chris Jones. Gotta block Chris Jones. Frank Clark going to have some one-on-one matchups. Going to have to win them for them to even have a chance. And my second pick, I don't know why. I just don't know why. I feel like Juju is going to have a chance to win Super Bowl MVP. I know it's going to be hard because if you're a receiver and you went off, that probably means Mahomes went off. But for some reason, I just see this dude doing TikTok dances with the MVP trophy at the end of the game. Him and Jackson Mahomes just having a blast out there. And for some reason, it's 2023. The script is in. NFL probably got to deal with TikTok coming. I just don't know. The script is the script. And I think Juju Smith or Frank Clark, those are two random Super Bowl MVPs, and watch is going to come down between Mahomes and Hurts. But I think those two guys have a really, really good chance to win it. Just because I think it depends on who's Slay guarding, honestly. I know the Eagles have two good corners, but Slay is obviously the tougher matchup for receivers.
Right.
I think they'll put him on Scantling, but if he's on Juju, just forget everything I said about Juju because I think it's over with after that. But Bradbury's the other corner. I believe I actually know him in real life. Actually, I shouldn't say that. But he's solid as well, but obviously he's no Darius Slay. I think it's gonna be a good game. And they match up very, very well, especially Eagles defense against the Chiefs offense.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you completely. I think it's gonna be a great game. Hopefully we win. But don't worry, even if we do lose, trust me, y'all, I'll be back to face whatever I gotta face, the following week for the next episode. But if we win, I might have the first 15 minutes to myself.
I'm gonna let you rock out. I'm gonna let you rock out. If the Eagles win, it might be a solo. It might be a solo show. I'm just gonna be here. I'm just gonna be here just listening. Like I said, I'm not gonna be mad. Only thing, actually, I take that back. I will be mad if the Eagles win for one reason and one reason only.
What's that?
If they win this offseason, all I'm gonna hear is, oh, they won the Super Bowl and they got the number 10 pick. Oh, they won the Super Bowl and they stole Gardner Johnson from the Saints. Like, that's just two trades. Like, first of all, they should give us a piece of the Super Bowl if they win. Let's just throw that out.
I ain't gonna lie, because
God damn, let us get something. Let us throw us some money or something. Like, give us a pick back. How about, look, we win, give us a little fourth or something. Can we help? Give us a little fourth on the side.
Oh, I thought you meant give you the 10th pick back. We ain't give you the 10th
no.
back,
This
but we might
like
give
the fourth. Give me the fourth, man. That's worth the Super Bowl. Give us the little fourth or something like that. Or give us a quarterback. Y'all got backups. Give us
we can give you Gardner.
Better than what we got.
And we got Ian Book. Y'all did have him.
Nah. Nah. Everybody just tuned out now. No more viewers at this point. Speaking of Ian Book, no, that's bad. But honestly, the Saints did kind of help the Eagles. That's my one thing why I don't want the Eagles to win, because I'm going to hear that. It's like the Minnesota Miracle. Every time Minnesota plays a game, I just see the Minnesota Miracle. They didn't win a Super Bowl that year. Stop showing that, please. They lost against the Eagles right after that.
But we destroyed them that following week.
Because they shouldn't have been there. Please stop showing that. It's very, very, very much over with. But like we were saying, I do think it's going to be a good game. I got the Chiefs by 11. Did you have the Eagles by what?
By 6.
By 6. I know one thing. If it's a close game, one possession game, I don't want Pat Mahomes with the ball if I'm an Eagles fan. You just don't want to see that. You don't want to see it. You just don't. I've seen it too. It's just like the Brady thing, unfortunately. I hate to say it. Like 1 minute, 30 seconds left. Oh, fuck, here we go. Here we go. You know what's going to happen. You just know what's going to happen. And with a guy like Mahomes, and actually a guy like Hurts, they have the ball with 2 minutes left, and it's usually kind of prevent defense, soft defense. They're both going to kill you with their legs, and that's going to be the problem. Because you really, when late in games, the quarterback spot is usually thrown out the window. If you see in the Chiefs Bengals game, the Bengals are playing a lot of soft coverage. Mahomes scrambles, rolls out, gets a 15-yard penalty, gets hit out of bounds. That's where they're going to kill you. Whichever team actually can contain the quarterback run the best, I think that's going to be the team that has the best chance of winning. Obviously, Hurts is going to run more than Mahomes because he's just a better runner than Mahomes. But don't let Mahomes fool you. He half black now. I had to get that in there.
Yeah, that's very true. Don't think that ankle is going to stop him from doing what he's got to do. And don't think Jalen's shoulder is going to stop him from what he's got to do. Every single person on this field on Sunday understands that win or lose, this is the last game of the year. This is what every NFL player wants. They want this to be the final game of the season, to put it all on the line. You know, both teams are relatively healthy outside of, you know, the Chiefs not having Hardman. But outside of that, everybody's got their starters, everyone's playing. So it's almost as, you know, as even killed as it can possibly be. So everybody's going to leave it, you know, on the field. You got to play for 60 minutes, and you just got to make sure you don't get distracted by Rihanna at halftime, you know. And outside of that,
Brandon Marshall already trying to distract Mahomes in the Super Bowl media day. He told him that Rihanna told him that. Well, Rihanna did say that Pat Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time, and Brandon Marshall told Pat Mahomes that, hey, relax. Can't be telling him that, because I would have had a divorce. Personally, I'd have divorced my wife and looked for her, but that's just me. And actually, shout out to Andy Reid. Brandon Marshall did ask him the top 3 rappers of all time, or his top 3 rappers of all time, and he said Jay-Z, Master P, and Lil Wayne. So Andy Reid, he gets a big dub for that.
I agree.
And it actually was pretty bad when he answered, because he just said, I don't know any of the new guys. I was about to say something, I forgot. Oh,
well, I also want to give Andy Reid credit, just because even though Sirianni is our coach now, any Eagles fan will tell you that, you know, at the bottom of their heart, they all have love for Andy Reid. You know,
no doubt.
Even though he's Big Red now, but you know, he was a great coach for us. We wish him nothing but the best. You know, we hope we win, but you know, at the end of the day, Eagles fans will never hate Andy Reid. So,
and I think if it was one team you could possibly lose to, like if you had to choose a loss in the Super Bowl, it would probably be to Andy Reid. No one wants to choose a loss in the Super Bowl, obviously. But if they did, it'll probably be Andy Reid. I think Andy Reid probably feel the same. Maybe the Eagles, or maybe he just hate them, but I doubt Andy Reid hates anything. I was going to say, this is probably the first Super Bowl where I'm like, the best 2 teams are in it, probably. Like, the best 2 teams are probably in it. I think the best 3 teams were the Bengals, the Chiefs, and the Eagles. So you get 2 of the best 3 teams in it. The Bengals, Chiefs, if they play 10 times, it's probably going to go 5-5 either way. So I think the best 2 teams are in it. They've been the best 2 teams all year for the most part. Both are 14-3, I guess 16-3 at this point. Both number 1 seeds. So NFL finally, I think, has the best 2 teams in it. This is the first year the Saints wasn't the best team in the NFL. So I guess the Eagles, I guess they're the best team this year. Even though we did beat them. Hey.
You beat Gardner.
No. We beat the Philadelphia Eagles. The final score is the Saints. The Saints had more points than the Philadelphia Eagles. That's just a fact.
You beat Gardner. Gardner allowed as many points as our defense gave up.
He did throw a pick 6 to Laddie, to lock down Laddie. But hey, I think it's gonna be a good game. Like I said, I got the Chiefs. He's got the Eagles. We'll definitely be back after the Super Bowl. Probably. Well, I won't say right after. Maybe he'll probably want to go right after if they win. If they
Depends
lose,
on the result.
He might have to give him. I'm not even going to be excited if the Chiefs win. I really don't care, but it just makes for good TV. But I think that's it. Any last words on your Eagles before we get up out of here?
Last words, I just want to say, don't be distracted. You know, stay locked in. You understand what the goal is. You know, a lot of distractions are thrown around all week long, all this media stuff and everything. That's not the goal. The goal is, at the end of the day, I don't even care how you play. I don't care what the final score is. I don't care what your stats are. The final bit of the day, you just need to have 1 more point than the Chiefs. That's it.
One more.
It don't matter if the game is 3-2. You got 1 more point, so we good. So hey, just keep doing what y'all been doing all season, all year. Stay together, play as one. We family, you know. And as Malcolm Jenkins said when we won our Super Bowl the first time, you know, our motto that year was, "We all we got, we all we need." So keep running with that, and we gonna be all right. All right, you know, fly Eagles fly.
And as much as that was great to end with, I do have one question before we get out of here about Patrick Mahomes. He wins the Super Bowl. He wins the Super Bowl MVP. I just need a quick answer within 10 seconds. Where do you rank him all time?
3.
Oh, shit. I'm not going to even disagree because I'm going to say 3 as well. And I'm only
Okay,
putting
who are
them.
the 2 that you have above him?
I have Peyton and Tom.
Ooh, you're different from me.
Who do you got? Joe?
I got Peyton and Joe Montana.
Oh, see. All right. I'm not even going to get into the discussion about Tom. I'm just being like, best quarterbacks, Tom is not my top 10. I'm talking about overall success. He has to
I'm just
obviously.
saying, and I'm just gonna throw this in there. The reason I'm gonna put him above Tom is because if Mahomes does win the Super Bowl, he's the reason they won their first 2 Super Bowls. Tom, even though Tom had the game-winning drive against, that set up the field goal against the Rams, and he played well against the Panthers, they had an outstanding defense, all that kind of stuff. Like
All of
Tom wasn't just
famers
the main
all
reason.
over the
Mahomes
place.
is the main reason if they, if they
no,
win, and the
I
reason they won
agree.
the last one.
I
So
agree.
that's why I do that.
I think he's a better player, but just an overall success. Hey, I'm not gonna argue for Tom Brady. I'll let you know that right now. So I'm cool with it. But that'll wrap up this episode of Outside Looking. It's the Super Bowl episode, man. Gonna look forward to the Super Bowl. Like I said, I got the Chiefs by 11. He's got the Eagles by 6. This not really a Chiefs shirt, but since it's red and white, we could get it cracking. Thank y'all for tuning in once again, man. It's the Blue Tragedies, and we up out of here.
Deuces, fly Eagles, fly.